Ready to escape into a world of books and pixels? What is up, YouTube? Today we'll be reading The Adventures of Mr. Toad. Tucked away among the willows, deep in the peaceful countryside, lie the homes of three good friends. In his cozy house in the riverbank lies Mr. Water Rat. His friends call him Ratty. Close by lives Mole, as kindly and gentle as a soul as he ever drew a breath. And in a great mansion, set in its own spacious park, lives Toady, the madcap, reckless, I thought I said redneck for a split second, extravagant, the fabulous Mr. Toad. Why, you may ask, do we call him the reckless, extravagant Toad? Well, Toady, you see, is a speed demon. As a boy, he went from the fastest tricycle to the fastest bicycle to the speediest boat on the river, and even after he was quite grown up, he was still always in trouble. He would knock down old ladies on his speeding bicycle. He would upset picnic parties with his speedy boat. There were always lawsuits threatening and damages to pay. His good friends Ratty and Mole worried constantly about him, and poor old McBadger, who managed Toad's money, could scarcely keep up with his tremendous bills. It's no wonder Toad's friends were delighted when news came that Toad had reformed. Ratty told Mole as they sipped their tea one afternoon. McBadger has had a very firm talk with Toad. He has promised to mend his ways, said Ratty. Splendid, said Mole with a happy smile, and he sighed a happy sigh. It seems almost too good to be true. Alas, it was too good to be true. At that moment, there came a knock on the door. It was the postman with a special delivery for Mr. Water Rat. Come at once to Toad Hall, it said, and was signed A. McBadger. Oh dear, said Ratty, with a shake of his head. This means trouble. But friends are friends through thick and thin, so off they started, snatching a last nibble of toasted muffin as they went. At Toad Hall, they found poor McBadger pacing up and down. Ah, lads, said he, you've come at last. I'm close to being a nervous wreck. What seems to be the trouble, McBadger? Asked Mr. Rat. It's Toad, groaned McBadger. This time he's gone too far. But he promised, said Mole. Oh yes, he's given up fast bicycles and speedy boats, it's true, said McBadger. But now he's rampaging the country in a canary? I think that's canary-colored gypsy cart. A gypsy cart, echoed Rat and Mole. Right. Yeah, okay, there we go, that's the right page. And it was true, too true. Rat and Mole had just turned down the road toward home, after a long talk with McBadger, when a great cloud of dust came rolling towards them. Out of the dust a voice called, and the voice was that of Toad. Hello, you fellows, cried Toad. I see you're the very animals I was coming to see. We want to have a talk with you, said Mr. Rat severely. A visit, cried Toad. That's splendid, but a visit is not what Ratty had in mind. Really, Toad, Ratty said solemnly, this has gone far enough. Too far, in fact. Oh, come on, camera. There we go. Your reckless pranks are giving us animals a bad name, and soon you have thrown away all your money, will have nothing to live on. You must give up your horse and cart. My horse and cart? Give them up? Nonsense, cried Toad. He cracked his whip and away he went. Down the road in a cloud of dust, suddenly a strange sound filled the air. Honk honk, it went. Honk honk. Up went the horse's heels in fright, and over they went, Toad, cart and all. The motor car, which had caused it all, went chugging off out of sight. That's an interesting terminology for a motor car. And Mole and Rat hurried over to pick up their fallen friend. Well, Toady, this should be a lesson to you, said Ratty. You can see that speed brings nothing but trouble. I hope you are through now with that horse and cart. Horse and cart, Toad repeated. There was a strange far-off look in his eyes. Oh yes, I'm through with gypsy carts forever. I'm going to get a motor car, think of that. Well, Rat and Mole managed to get Toad safely home, and they put him straight to bed. They locked him in, too, for he was raving noisily about his motor car, and they sat themselves down in the hall. But they did not know Toad Stone walls could not make a prison for Toad. He knotted a rope of twisted sheets and slipped it down to the ground. Oh no, slipped down it there we go. Slipped down it to the ground. A motor car, I've got to have a motor car, he panted as he trudged away down the moonlit road. I'll have one too, if I have to beg or borrow it. Rat and Mole were shocked by Toad's wild excitement. I see what they did there. Certain reference to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Disneyland, perhaps? Which is what this book is based on. Anyway, which this story is based on, I mean. Anyway. But imagine how much more shocked they were next morning when they were still on guard at the bedroom door when they saw the headlines in the local paper. Toad arrested, steals car, screamed the headlines. Toad, cried his friends. It can't be. He's safe in bed. They quickly unlocked the door and flung it open. The ropes of sheets still hung out the open window, and Toad indeed was gone. Yes, it was as just the paper had said. Toad was in jail for stealing a car. On the day of the trial, Rat, Mole, and McBadger sat in the courtroom, feeling sad indeed. But not Toad. He was as gay as you please. Keep in mind, gay in this time meant happy, not the current meaning that it means today. This book was made when the word gay meant happy, not the other meaning. Anyways, he explained to the court that he had not stolen the car at all. He had bought it from some weasels, and in exchange he had given them the deed to Toad Hall. The deed to Toad Hall? The words swept through the crowded courtroom. He traded his home for a motor car? No one could believe it. No one but Toadie's old friends. Own friends, my bad. They knew how strong his longing for speed could be. The judge and jury did not believe it, especially since the weasels lied and said it was not so. Toad was found guilty and sent to jail for 99 years. Poor Toad. He thought everyone had forgotten him. Months passed and he sat hurtled in his dreary cell. But his mind was not idle. Not Toad. Nice car reference there. And on Christmas Eve, he slipped past the jailer and made his escape. Of course, the jailer was not fooled for long. By the time he knew what had happened, Toadie was on his way, disguised as a stout old lady. He was speeding through the night. And where did he go? Why, straight back to that quiet spot beneath the river willows, where Ratty and Mole were spending a sad and lonely Christmas Eve. When Toad appeared in the doorway, he found that Ratty and Mole had another caller. McBadger was there, talking excitedly. We've made a great mistake, lads, he was saying. Toad did trade Toad Hall for a motor car, and the weasels are living there now. We must go and get the deed from them so Toadie's name will be cleared. With this good news, they were glad indeed to welcome the runaway Toad. It was midnight when the four friends rode silently up to a secret tunnel that led back from the river to Toad Hall. Then, back up the stairway, they crept to the great hall where the weasels were, all sound asleep. They woke up, alas, just as Mole was making off with the deed, and then the fight was on. Oh, what a fight it was, too. Wham, slam, crash, bam! Our friends were outnumbered, but they fought like heroes, and at last they won. So Toad was cleared of the charges, and better still, he promised to give up motor cars. What a happy day, said Ratty, when it was all settled. Isn't it wonderful, said Mole. Come, lads, said McBadger, let's drink a toast to the new year and to the new Toad. Crash! The sound of falling bricks broke in on their toast, and from outside a voice called to them. Come on, you fellows, called the voice. And they knew at once it was Toad. This is the life, travel, adventure, excitement, and the sky's the limit. They ran to the window and looked out. There was Toad waving to them from a brand new airplane. Yes, life went on peacefully there beneath the willows, but peace and quiet were never enough for Toad. Well, lads, said McBadger after a moment with a thoughtful shake of his head. Here's a toast, nonetheless, to our jolly, charming madcap, the fabulous Mr. Toad. The end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to y'all in the next one.